Uproar 2012 sitting backstage with an author, a wrestler, a lead singer, musician, dancer. You can call him a billion and one things, Mr. Chris Jericho, who will be coming to Hooligans Music Hall on November 2nd in Jacksonville. Cannot wait to see you guys and the whole band of Fozzy.
I know. We're hanging out here backstage at the Uproar tour, and you were tardy today.
Just a bit tardy.
You missed us, but yeah, we're excited. It's cool to do festival tour, you know, but sometimes people miss you that want to see you. We go on at 4:20 every day, and it's also, you know, you play 30 minutes, and every band on this tour plays 30 minutes except for Stain gets 40. And I think Godsmack and Shinedown get an hour.
Right.
So, you know, you're playing just very abbreviated sets. So we're looking forward to doing the run in October, November, where we get to play our full set.
What's a full set for you guys? Like an hour, hour 15?
Hour 15, an hour and a half.
Covering all the records?
Yeah, play something from every record, and then focusing mostly on the new record, Sin and Bones, and then the last record, Chasing the Grail.
Cool. And Sin and Bones, right now, the new single is Sandpaper with them Shadows. How did that come about that you brought him on board to do that song with you?
Well, I mean, first of all, you guys were one of the first stations, if not the first, to really promote the song and really get behind it, so thanks for that. And basically what happened with Sandpaper was I wanted kind of a call and response part, you know, the Cat Scratch, Whiplash, Witch Hunt, and Black. I wanted somebody else to sing that. Mm-hmm. So I knew we did Uproar last year for some shows, and Matt was on it, Avenged was on it, and we got to be pretty good friends, and over the last year have stayed really close and been through a lot of stuff together. And so I thought I'd give Matt a call and see what he thought. He's also a big Fozzy fan. He loved the last record, especially the song Grail. He loved that song. And then when I played him the demo, and he said, listen, this is the best chorus you guys have ever done. I really like it. And he said, I want to actually do some more with it than just sing the part, if that's okay. And I was like, sure, whatever you want to do. Whatever you feel, just put it down. And if we like it, we use it. And if we don't, we don't. And he actually contributed a lot to the arrangement of the song.
So he'll kind of rework it a little bit.
He reworked it. Yeah, he made it more a sleeker version. You know, and I think he probably cut about 15 or 20 seconds from it, but it was more streamlined, made for a better song, especially for a radio song.
Right.
So sometimes as musicians we add parts because we can play them and we think they sound cool, but for the advancement of the song, it's not the case. So he actually brought that up, and Rich and I agreed. So yeah, not only did he do a great job of singing on it, he did a great job with arranging on it and helping us with the whole structure as well.
And as you're saying, cutting the time, I recall James Hetfield back in the day saying, you know, back when I was writing riffs, it was how much can I play in one song cram, but then oh crap, I got a 10-minute song now.
Exactly. You know, and we always, I mean, we like doing that. We have a song on this new record called Storm the Beaches, which is about 11 minutes long. So we do have that element to us. We love, you know, Metallica and Maiden, and even Avenged has long songs. You know, they'll do that, and we appreciate that, and we like that. But not all the songs have to be that way. I think that's something that, you know, Metallica on the last record on Death Magnetic, every song is like 8 minutes long.
Or what was it, the 10-minute instrumental?
The 10-minute instrumental. Which, if you're a long-time fan of Metallica, you love it. But if you're, you know, a radio programmer, as you are, trying to figure out what song to play, where do you start? So having a couple 3-minute and 10-second songs on there definitely helps your chance of getting airplay.
Right. Now, with this whole record, I mean, you guys have been around for, what, 13 years now?
13 years. Yeah, we started in 99.
And you guys, at that time, you had stage names because you really didn't want to associate the Chris Jericho
no,
thing.
It wasn't really that at all. How it started was we started as a cover band, as most bands do, called Fozzy Osbourne. And we just were playing some gigs whenever we had time, whenever we had fun. And after a couple gigs, there was actually a bidding war for the band because of who was in it. Chris Jericho, Rich Ward from Stuck Mojo. So I was like, we're a cover band. They don't care. They want to sign you. So we got signed to a label called Megaforce by a guy called Johnny Zazula, who, if you are a fan of the aforementioned Metallica, know that Johnny Z signed Metallica in '83. He signed us to be a cover band. So we kind of came up with a little bit of a backstory to do like a Blues Brothers Traveling Wilburys thing where there were some characters involved, just to make it a little bit more exciting than just covers.
Right.
That was fun for a year and a half or 2 years or so, and then we said, listen, we enjoy playing together. We have great chemistry as friends. We can write some good songs together. Let's ditch everything start from scratch and just start doing our own thing. So it's almost kind of a similar thing to Pantera. They started off as the kind of the glam band with you look in the back cover and Vinny's got poofy hair and makeup, and they were playing kind of some glam stuff. That's what they were into. That's what got their feet wet.
Right.
But then they changed their look and their sound and became the legendary Pantera. Same name, but two different bands. Kind of the same with us.
Now, when you guys were sitting down deciding the song, or not so much the song, but the sound of the band, how was that discussion? Like, because I mean, I listen to Fozzy, I hear a lot of classic metal sound in the band.
Well, I mean, the thing about us is it takes a band a little while always to decide exactly what it is that they are, what it is they do best. And Chasing the Grail kind of opened the door for us that what we think we do best is very heavy songs with very melodic riffs. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Very heavy songs with very melodic choruses. Almost like if Metallica and Journey had a bastard child, it would be Fozzy. And we really wanted to continue that with Sin and Bones, where we wanted to make sure that every chorus was, a Journey song. Was, four doo-wop guys, two black guys, two white guys sitting around snapping their fingers, and something happens when the dark meets the light. Dum-dum-dum. Like, if you can hear that and then you add the heavy guitars and add the heavy drums, then you've got something special. And that's what Shadows heard when we played him Sin and Bones, or whatever the song is called, Sandpaper.
Which now I'm going to hear that version you just sang me now.
Of course,
from here
right?
on out.
Of course, it hooks you. So that's kind of what we do, and we really wanted to focus on that with Sin and Bones, and I think we're going to continue to do that forward. So there is a classic element. We do love Maiden and Metallica and Ozzy and Priest. We also love Avenged. We love Bullet for My Valentine. We love Trivium. We love In This Moment. And we love Pink Floyd, Queen, Beatles, Journey, Styx, Foreigner. So there's kind of a little bit of all of that creates the Fozzy sound at this point.
Now, for you, you grew up, your two dreams were wrestling and becoming a musician.
That's right, yeah.
And so you're living both out now. Even for you still, is there people that you meet that you looked up to, or some people that you go to a show like these festivals, you're like, okay, we're going to be on the road with this person, and you're like really looking forward to hanging out with them or meeting them. Do you still have that feeling today?
Well, the thing that's cool is Uproar is like kind of a traveling summer camp, and we didn't know any of the other bands on this tour. Whereas last year I knew the Avenged guys and we knew the Bullet guys a little bit, but this year it was a clean slate. So come very close with the Shinedown guys, especially Zach. He's my new BFF. We have a great time. Love the In This Moment guys, the POD guys. Shannon from Godsmack is cool. Robbie from Godsmack is cool. So it's cool to meet up with those guys and say hi. But to me, it's like those bands have come on the scene since we've been on the scene. When I met James Hetfield a couple of years ago, that was another story. I actually almost started crying, and that was only 2-3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
After all the stuff I'd done, still getting a chance to talk to Steve and talk to James and meet James was a huge honor for me. And the reason why I said Steve is because I was also thinking Maiden, who I'm very good friends with, Adrian Smith and Nico McBrain, but I'm still scared to talk to Steve Harris and Bruce, because those are two other of my heroes. So Hetfield and Lars, I can have a conversation with them and not get too geeky. Steve and Bruce, I still don't know what to say for whatever reason. So even the quote unquote great Chris Jericho still gets a little bit scared.
Well, that's a good thing, though. It still keeps you humble, I suppose.
Absolutely. And the thing is, that's why you mentioned earlier, I've been playing in band since I was 12. I didn't just wake up one day and go, hey, I'm going to be the singer in a band. This is part of who I am. It's part of my life, and music has meant everything to me since that age. And I'm the type of guy that can talk music for hours with anybody. I go on YouTube and watch old clips of old bands. I love wrestling, but it was never like that for me. Like, I don't go watch old wrestling matches. I go watch old, Richie Blackmore, Deep Purple shows, or go look up Halloween videos, or go watch Avenged Sevenfold things. I love doing that. So when I get a chance to meet some of my heroes, it does affect me.
Well, like you were saying earlier, because you were saying you like to watch a VH1 Classic a lot, while you're on the road.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly, because even the other day, that metal show is great, but we were watching Hard Rock Live, some giant festival from, I think, Hyde Park in London, and Paul Simon was on. And Paul DeLeo, our bass player, used to play with Paul Simon.
Oh, wow.
He's one of those guys. He's played with Joe Lynn Turner and Ace Frehley and Adrenaline Mob, but he's also played with Paul Simon, McCartney, Billy Joel.
Oh, wow.
So we were watching just to see, Paul Simon on, just, oh man, this is such cool stuff, and the drummer's just shuffling, and so it's cool to I love having music on. If you weren't on the bus right now, I'd have music. I got little speakers. I plug in my iPhone. It's constantly music. I go in the back lounge. Sometimes to the point of almost being a hermit. I don't want to talk talk about the day. I just want to go chill and
Go
listen to
your tunes.
You know? That's kind of how I wind down.
So what's in your iPod right now? If you go back right there right now, I mean, what would you put on first?
Today it was. I try and stick with bands. So today it was Kiss, and I was really getting into '80s Kiss. That's kind of what was going on. Yesterday it was Avenged. It was all Avenged. That was kind of what kind of a mood I was in. And then the day before that, we were playing a bunch of like. This guy called Donnie Iris. He has a song called Aaliyah. You know?
I'm from Northeast Ohio originally, and Donnie Iris is
Donnie
huge
Iris,
up
right.
there. Oh.
So we just bought the Donnie Iris song Aaliyah, which is just a killer song, and we were all like, hey, whatever. I found it on iTunes, so we checked that out. Then we listened to Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. So just depends whatever mood you're on. Like you can't be heavy all the time.
No.
You know, and also too, there's always Beatles going on. Usually after a gig, especially when we headline, I always wind down by just putting the Beatles on and just chilling out to that.
Favorite Beatles album?
White Album.
White Album.
Although I like Abbey Road too, depending on what day it is. But I gotta go probably with the White Album if you're asking me for a Desert Island.
Desert Island pick. This is what I'm going with.
It's the longest one, yeah. So therefore, it's okay.
There you go. Well, I mean, you have a lot going on. I mean, you've been managing this band between that and wrestling. I'm sure that had to be hard, especially up to recently when you left, and now you're out on the road. For over the years, has it really been that tough for you to do both?
Well,
I mean, because I know you take some time off in between.
Yeah, you can't do both. And we did in the early days of Fozzy do both, and even to the point of having gigs after wrestling matches. You know,
so you'd be getting showered off and going straight
there, and you just can't do that. And we decided about 3 or 4 years ago, like I said, when we were starting to write the Chase the Grail record, that it was time for us. Listen, we've got something here. We know we've got something. We need to take this as far as we can go. We changed some band members. We changed some of the mindsets of the band, of what we wanted to do, what our focus was. And when we started really, really going for it, big things started happening for us. And that's when I left the WWE in 2010, was to go on tour with Fozzy. We did 16 months with Chasing the Grail. I think it was 15 or 16 countries even.
Wow.
Then we started working on Sin and Bones right after the last tour, and that's when I decided to go back to the WWE because it takes 8 months or so to record a record. For me, I do 15 days of singing, and I'm done my parts.
So yeah, you're done for a while.
I had some time, right? So it was a good time to go back. Fans were asking for it. I went back for the 6-7 months, whatever it was, but knowing all the time, as soon as the record is released, as soon as Uproar starts, WWE takes a back seat. And then everything now is focused around Fozzy's schedule.
Right.
If I have time off from Fozzy, I'll do other stuff. But now the new record comes out. There's a lot of buzz, a lot of great things going on. Hopefully that will lead to a lot of touring. And we're already booked up until middle of March, so there's a lot of stuff coming up already.
There's a lot happening for you right now.
Yeah, which is great.
That's good. That was actually going to be my question. We'll wrap this up here. Was, what's going to be happening for you guys next? Because I know you're going to be running through the rest of the year. November 2nd, we got Jacksonville.
Yeah,
so
that's great. Yeah, we wanted to do a short headlining run on our own, so I think we're doing a couple weeks in the States. Then after that, we're going over to Europe and the UK with Soil, who's just has a resurgence over there.
Yeah, they're just reunited now.
Yeah, so we did a couple shows with them this summer, and it worked out really good. So we're going to go over with them. I think we're doing like 8 countries or something.
Oh, wow.
England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Netherlands, Germany, France.
It's funny when you look at over there, like Soil. They haven't hit back here since they reunited, but over there they're still like amazing over there.
They just got, and the other band that we toured with too, just coincidentally, was Ugly Kid Joe, who also
they're still around.
No, they just reunited.
Oh, okay.
So it was the same story. We just kind of showed up and played with these bands that were drawing these huge numbers over there because they had just reunited. So, and we have a good fan base there too. So put us together, and so we're gonna do that. And then end of February we do Soundwave, which is a big festival tour in Australia, and Metallica is headlining that. So that's cool. Those are like huge shows. And then, we're hoping to do a bunch of other stuff. Hopefully come in the States and stay in the States. We've never toured here officially coast to coast until this tour on Uproar. And now we want to keep the ball rolling because we're doing really good. The record, Sin and Bones, debuted at #1 on the Heat Seeker chart.
That's good.
Sandpaper's almost top 40 on Active Rock Radio, thanks to you guys starting that off for us. So you want to keep the ball rolling.
Right.
Get out there and tour as much as we can and say hi to all of our old fans and make new ones. That's the idea.
Cool. Well, looking forward to November 2nd, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fozzy.
With Candlelight Red, too, another band that's here today on the Uproar tour.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, so wow. I did not realize they were on that, so that's good to know, too.
It's going to be a good 1-2 punch, man, so we're excited. Can't wait to come, and we love North Carolina, man. We always have, and I've always loved it, not only for music, but for wrestling as well, so it's always cool to come back.
It's a nice little hub for wrestling.
It is, man.
Flair country.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
Well, all the Jericho Hawks will be looking forward to it, man. November 2nd. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man.